Welcome to Easy Mathsy. This is Ravan Chikka. In today's class, we'll be learning about the new chapter, decimal. The first problem here is 4 by 10. How do we convert a fraction into a decimal? 4 by 10. How many zeros here? 1 0. So 1 0 in the sense from the right to your left, the pointer will shift. So there is only 1 0, so the arrow mark will be only 1. So the answer is 0.4. So here we have another problem, 6 by 100. When I say 6 by 100, how many zeros are there? 2 zeros. So we write 6 by 100. We have 2 zeros. If it's 2 zeros, it's understood that it is 2 arrows. So now what we do? 1, 2. It might be confusing. We have only one number in the numerator, that is 6, and in the below denominator we have 2 zeros. In this scenario, what we have to do is, we assume there is a 0. Now where does the pointer comes? Pointer comes where the arrow marks ends. So it is nothing but point, write the number for as it is, 0, 6. Here we have another problem which is 5, 2 by 10. This is a mixed fraction. In our previous episodes, we have actually spoken about mixed fraction. Now let's convert this mixed fraction to a proper or improper fraction. Now how do we convert? Let's write the same 5, 2 by 10. First 10 into 5 and then with the answer you add. What's 10 into 5? 10 into 5 is 50. 50. So 50 plus 2. 10 into 5 is 50. 50 plus 2 is 52. We write 52 by 10. Now we have to convert this to decimal. This is a fraction. Fraction has numerator and denominator. This has to be converted into a decimal. How do we convert? How many zeros are there? 1 0. So the shift happens from right to left. Since it's only 1 0, only one arrow mark happens. So now what we have to write? 5.2. Where the arrow mark ends, there you have to place the dot. Dot is nothing but decimal. So now we can't say 5.2, we have to say 5.2. Here another mixed fraction, that is 135 by 100. Let's convert it. First let's write the problem as it is, 135 by 100. Now when we convert, first denominator multiplied by the whole number. So 100 into 1 is 100. Next what you have to do, you have to, with that answer you have to add. So 100 plus 35. It's nothing but 135. When I take 135, we have write it as 135 by 100. So now we have to convert this fraction into decimal. How many zeros are there? 2 zeros. 1, 2. So how many arrows? 2 arrows. Right from the side, right to left. Since 2 zeros, 2 arrows. Where does the arrow mark end? Over here. So the answer will be 1.35. This problem, we do not read a decimal as 1.35. We read it as 1.35. Let's come again, 1.35. We have a problem here, 1.29. When I write 1.29, we need to know the place value here. So we'll be talking about place value. Everyone knows about when we write, if I write an example, if I take an example 12, 2 stands in 1's place and 1 stands in 10's place. And therefore, whichever numbers come over here, it will be 100, thousands, 10,000, lakh and goes on. So here 1, since it's only one number here, we mention it as 1's place. What about 0.29? Where does 2 stand? Which place does 2 stand? 2 stands in 10's place. 10's place and 9 stand in 100's place. So this is the standard way of place value when you have a decimal number. I have another problem, 12.05. When I have 12.05, 2 stands, we know that the decimal point, before the decimal point, it is a normal place value that we have learned in our first, second, third standard. So 2 stands in ones place or units place, and 1 stands in tens place. We have, what is the number after decimal point? 0 and 5. 0, 5. Tens place, and 5 comes under hundreds place. Hundreds place. This is the place value when you are using a decimal number. So how do we read this number as? 12.05. We do not call it as 12.5, we call it as 12.05. If you have 31.567, this as 31.567. All this while we were actually converting from fraction to decimal. Now we will convert from decimal to fraction. I have written a problem 0.16. Converting from fraction to decimal, we were drawing an arrow mark from right to left. From right to left. Now we will draw an arrow mark from left to right. That is, where is the pointer? Over here. From there, 1, 2. So there are 2 arrow marks. So when there are 2 arrow marks, it defines as there is 2 zeros. In other terms also, after a point, how many number follows? There are 2 numbers. 1 and 6, there are 2 numbers. So there are 2 zeros. Then we write the number as it is. If you are getting confused to write 016 or 16, just write the number as it is. 016. It's nothing but 16 by 100. This is how you convert a decimal to fraction. Now I have another problem here, 5.50. We follow the same method. We write it once again, 5.50. Now how many numbers we have after a point? We have 2 numbers that has been followed. So 2 numbers means 2 arrows. That means there are, the denominator you have 2 zeros. 100. Now we write the number as it is, that is 550. This might turn out to be a little tricky. So now for that I'll give you a small easy method. You can convert this into a mixed fraction. Now how do I convert this into a mixed fraction? When I divide 550 by 100, we have 100 into 5 is 500 and left is 50. The remainder is 50. Now we know how the mixed fraction works. Q R by D. Q is the quotient, R is the remainder, D is the denominator. Now let's write the details here. What's Q stands here? 5. Let's write 5. And R is the remainder, 50. And D is 100. It's very simple. If you get confused, you can just add everything. You can do the formula. That is 100 into 5 is 500. 100 into 5 is 500. Plus 500 plus 50 is 550. So U will be 550. So you will be retrieving the same number here. This is for easy calculation and verification. So we have a mixed number, mixed fraction 550 by 100. Most students have no idea why decimal is used, why fraction is used, where it is used. We now learned about how decimal can be converted, how it can be converted to a mixed fraction or back to a decimal. But now where is this application of decimal? Now we'll be learning about application of decimal. If you can think where these decimals are used, it is predominantly used in the money matter. Like if you're taking in the Indian rupee, if you're taking 20 rupees, 50 paisa. So it's always 20 rupees, 50 paisa. How do we convert this into a decimal? Very simple, it is 20.50. We say 20.50 rupees. When we differentiate them, it will be 20 rupees 50 paisa. On the board, I have mentioned 1 rupee 35 paisa. How do we use it in a decimal format? We use it as 1.35 rupees. I have written 12 and 99. 12 rupees, this comes under rupees, and 99 comes under paisa. 12 rupees 99 paisa. When we write in short, it is 12.99 rupees. You get me? So 12.9, 9 is nothing but the number before the point is rupees, the number after the point is paisa. The application of decimal using length. Now let's take one problem. You have in your scale 2 meter, meter scale or normal scale, you will have 2 meter and 55 centimeter. How do you differentiate using a decimal? So 2 meter goes to the before the point, that is, it is also represented as 2.55 meters. So in total, when you write using a decimal number, we only represent the point, the meter, the unit which is before the number, before the decimal. 25 meters and 2 centimeter. When we convert this, it becomes 25.2 meters. The number before the point is meter and the number after the point is centimeter. It also refers with respect to the weight, with respect to liters, etc. Here I have given one problem, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, which is the next pattern, which is the next number in this pattern. If you can think for a while, it's very easy. It just goes as a continuous format, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, it will be 0.5 and 0.6. This will be the pattern which will. I've taken another example, 11.6, 11.7, 11.8, 11.9, which will be the next decimal number in this pattern. It will be 11.10, 11.11. Now, this is a fraction, 1 by 2. We don't have any zeros or hundreds or tens in the denominator. How do we convert this into a decimal? As we all know, fraction is a division. Now, what we do is 2 is the denominator, 2 here and 1. In such scenario, 2 is bigger than 1. So what you have to do? You have to put a point here. In this cases, when you put a point, automatically you will be able to write 0. A point is given, then you can use 0 next to the number. Now, how many? Now when you see 10 is actually divisible by 2. 2 into 5 is 10. The remainder is 0. What is the quotient? Is 0.5. You can also write as 0.5. So 0.5 or 5 is a decimal number. So 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 or 0.5. See you in the next class. Take care.